So this is Tony with Kate's Crafty Closet, and today I have this fun little Halloween. It's like you can use this for many different things. Like if you want to put candy in here, you most certainly can and give it out to trick-or-treaters, or if you can put this at parties. But I was thinking more like you can do a scavenger hunt, and this could be like something you can put the clues in, or this really could even be what you can put an invitation to your party. And so great party favor. They say you could also put candy in those as well. So let's go ahead and get started so we can show you how I made this. So first thing I started out with is some orange cardstock, and I used this die to go ahead and cut this out. Everything that I use in today's video will be listed in the description box below as well. So this is like really like a little envelope. It's basically pocket is what it all boils down to. So I went ahead and did that. So if you notice, it also puts some score lines in here where you fold it up and you will glue it. But before we go ahead and do all that gluing and stuff, we're going to do the other pieces of it that we have to do to it. So let's go ahead and put that aside. So what I wound up doing is using the little faces from this Sizzix and Holtz die. This one is called Frightening Faces. So you have many different choices that you can use, and it goes into your cardstock. Like it's not one of those pieces that you can use and adhere to something else. It's going to cut it out into what you're going to use. So it kind of works out perfectly for us on this. So I went ahead on the first one that you saw me show you earlier was the I think it, like, to me it looks like an owl, so to speak, like this one right here, Frightening Faces. But today, for the one I just did, I went ahead and used this one that has a little face going on down here. So I already had and die cut that. It's a small die, super simple, easy. So this is what it winds up looking like when you die cut it onto your cardstock. So there you go. And what we're going to have to do is just take a piece of black cardstock, and we're going to have to glue it on here, which is totally okay, because like what goes on the inside, and nobody's really going to know unless they take it apart. So I'm just going to go ahead and just trim that down, and I'm going to do the best that I can and glue it. Like you can use dry adhesive as well if you want to, but instead of putting it on the paper, because I don't want it to seep through there, I'm actually going to do it onto this orange side, so we know that whatever the black cardstock adheres to, it's not really going to necessarily seep through our image here. And if it does, that's okay, because we can just clean it up, right? So we're just going to go ahead and put that black cardstock down on top of that and hold it for a second or two, let it grab, and then it kind of basically will be, so that's what you get on the front. So now you can see that image. Otherwise you have holes in your little pocket thing going on in here. So the next thing I'm going to do is like the first one, you've seen how I put like a mini strip sentiment from Tailored Expressions on there. But for this second one, I wanted to try something a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and use this Boo stamp set. This is from a Tim Holtz set that was at Michael's. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab some black ink. And today's black ink, I'm going to use Lawn Fawn Jet Black. And we're just going to put our sentiment in. And if the sentiment doesn't come out perfect, I'm totally 100% okay with that, because number one, it's Halloween. And if it looks a little bit distressy because I don't get the perfect image, I'm good with that too. So I'm just going to apply a little pressure, hold it so the ink can release from the stamp to the cardstock, and boom, we got Boo. Cute, right? So you can use any kind of sentiment that you want, or anything that you may have in your stash, like perfectly okay. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is like I'm going to do some ink blending just around the edges, just to give it a little bit more depth. So I'm going to go in with Distress Oxide Carved Pumpkin, And what I'm going to wind up doing is, like, it all depends on up to you. You can fold in your edges if you want to, but to me, I'm not really going to do that. So I'm just going to apply some of this to my foam blending tool, and I'm just going to go ahead and add that carved pumpkin around the pumpkin face itself. Just like I said, just to give it a little bit of dimension, so it kind of lightens up that deep orange cardstock. And you can actually add darker. It all depends on what the look that you're going for. And so, like I said, completely 100% your creativity. So we're done with that. And the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is, like, I am going to go ahead and fold on my, and I'm probably going to get ink on my fingers, which is okay. I'm going to fold my squirrel lines, and then we'll go ahead and adhere all of that together. So it's completely up to you if you use dry tape, tape runner, whatever you want. Again, I'm just going to go with the wet glue because that's what I have. And just make sure you glue it on the right side. Don't do what I did on the previous one. I did glue it on the wrong side, but it still works. It's just a little bit more difficult to put anything on the inside of it that's bigger than this. So I'm just going to hold that down for a moment so it has a moment to grab. Boom. And so here, see, guess that wasn't long enough. It said, nope, I'm not ready. And that's okay. Just be patient. Listen to the product, right? Listen to the product. What's it telling me to do? All right, so now we have this top part. We're going to fold that under as well. And see, that's just cute as itself to put on those little photo frames and stuff like that as a decoration piece and stuff like that. But we're going to go one more step ahead. And we're going to go ahead and add some shading to the outside. I'm going to go in with black soot distress oxide. I could have used the Lawn Fawn one if I wanted to, but I just kind of wanted to go with the oxide because the black soot is a little bit more of a muted black, and that's kind of the look I was going for. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fold that down because I'm going to just add ink to my edges. And I'm going to go all the way around. Do my best not to get my fingers inky so I don't get smudge marks. And if I do, I'm okay with that too. All right, so here we have that. Then we're going to lift up that one, the flap, and we're just going to go ahead and add. And you could put a little sentiment on the flap if you wanted to too. All depends on what you want to do. You can also add names to that if you're giving them out to specific people, like say kids' school, and giving away little fun stuff. So that basically is our fun little Halloween decoration, or something you can put a little bit of candy in, like, or a message. Like I said, great for a scavenger hunt for Halloween, and then the prize at the end. Like I said, even like I said, cute little decoration piece like this. This could also be a name setting on a table if you're doing that kind of get together for Halloween. But anyway, I want to thank y'all for joining me today. And like I said, everything that I use in today's video will be in the description box below, as well as all my social media links. And also, please, I would love if you go ahead, hit that like button. If you aren't a subscriber already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And when that notification bell comes up and you want to be notified each and every time I upload a video to YouTube, you know, they're supposed to send you a notification that it's ready. So go ahead and give that out a try. Again, thank y'all for joining me, and have a crafty day, y'all.